everyone, and welcome back to my channel. How are you all doing today? I'm back for the second week of the Seek, Gather and Create challenge. This is a mixed media scavenger hunt which I am hosting with Tina Hois, Mel and Laura Dennison, so I'll again link them down below. This week we had to search for something from a magazine, a postmarked stamp, something with a number on it, and something handwritten by someone else. So you can see there I have got that lady image from a magazine. This is an old someone's notes from a recipe book. This is my daughter's reading record, and I pulled out a line from a book that she reviewed, which says she felt amazed because she could see the future. I really like that. So those are my handwritten things. I've got a stamp there with some little owls, or it's an owl and an eagle, and I just picked out some washi tape and some stickers for the numbers. So I'm working again in this book, and I really like the background. That's a jelly printed background and the eco printed leaf there. So I decided I would keep some of that and do a bit of my paper weaving. So I'm just put a cutting mat behind that page, and I've just got a craft knife, and I'm going to cut some slits. I sped this up quite a lot because it did take me some time to do. And I'm going to weave that with strips of this handwritten recipe. I found this page in an old 1960s cookbook that I found in a charity shop, and the recipes are pretty awful but I really liked that there was sort of handwritten notes in it throughout it. So if you haven't heard about the challenge so far, it's something that we're hosting over on Instagram, so you can check out my Instagram channel and you'll see all the information there. And each week on a Sunday, this is just through the month of August, I should say, we're popping up a list of items to find, and then you have to create a piece of artwork using all 4 items. It can be absolutely anything, it doesn't have to be art journaling. I know Laura, who's hosting me with me, she's been making all sorts of mixed media pieces and journals, and we've had loads and loads of lovely responses from people taking part, making all kinds of things. And you can check out what other people have created by just visiting the hashtag Seek, Gather, Create. So I'm just finished off my weaving there, and now I'm just adding in these little bits of washi tape and stickers with the numbers on. Just deciding where to put them. I didn't want to hide too much of the weaving and the writing that comes through from that, so focusing it mostly on the left there. Okay, next I grabbed a bit of old pattern paper, and I'm going to use some matte medium just to stick that down. This is really nice to use in your journals because it remains quite transparent, and it just adds those sort of interesting lines and marks everywhere. I'm just doing a coat. I usually do a coat underneath and then a coat over the top just to seal it all down. It took me a while to gather my pieces this week, and I really didn't know what I was going to do with them. I didn't really have a plan before I started, other than deciding that I wanted to do the weaving. Just adding a bit of paper towel on there. It has a sort of pattern of some sort of watercolour-y looking circles, but it didn't really show through. I'm just adding some gesso I really liked all sort of the numbers and the weaving and everything. I didn't want to hide it too much, so once I've added the gesso, I then get this cloth, spray a bit of water on it, and just wipe some of that back out, just so the gesso sort of mutes it, but I didn't want to lose that background entirely, so taking a little bit back off again. And I wanted to bring some of the blue that's in there on the page on the right over to the left, so I'm using some high flow acrylics. I think it's the Folio blue. Folio, I don't know if I'm saying that right. And just adding a little bit. I do apologise because I can hear my daughter's going to clump down the stairs and come in and interrupt me in a second. I was hoping that she'd be occupied in a room, so I might have to just push her in a second. She's with a friend. So I'm just adding some watercolour to that in a pink colour, and just grabbing some old coffee that was on my desk and splashing across the page. And I'll hold that up so you can see how that is looking, and that you can see the weaving a bit clearer there now, and you can see the writing from the recipe book that comes through. I really like how that turned out, but I'm loving the blue with the coffee and the numbers poking through as well on the left. So next was to start to use some of my other items. I pulled this girl out from a magazine, and I'm just was fussy cutting her out. I like this sort of surprised expression that she had, and given the words that I pulled out from my daughter's book review, I thought it sort of matched her expression quite well. She seems quite surprised that she's able to tell the future. And I could not decide where I wanted to put her on the page, but so I sort of move around quite a bit, but I thought there was lots of areas that I really liked and I didn't want to cover up, but I thought I didn't actually want to cover up too much of that weaving, so she does end up on the left. She ends up there. So I had real issues with my glue. It's pretty much all dried up, so I did give it a go trying to get it to come out, and I give up and reach for my glue stick in a second. There we go. Give up. In doing so, I actually ripped this magazine, but it's okay. I stick it down carefully so you can't tell. The belt was just a little bit too long. It was going over the crease, so I just trimmed that down. And then it was what to do with the stamps, and I decided to create a kind of tag with them that sort of hangs over the edge of the page. So I'm grabbing some scrap fabrics out, again choosing sort of creams and blues to go with the background, and then kind of arrange these with the stamp to sort of create a little bit of a tag like that. And I took that off to the sewing machine and just whizzed that together. As you can see, grabbed a little single hole punch and added that to the top. I'm just going to stick that up onto the top edge of that right hand page. Again, I grabbed this glue and thought, again, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So I grabbed a different bottle. Okay. I didn't like covering up those little scissors. It's that sort of scissor image that was on the pattern paper, but I couldn't really avoid it. But I like how it sits there, and I added just this little bit of sort of rough brown string through the little hole there to make it look more like a little tag. So I've got my numbers, I've got my magazine image, I've got my postmark stamp. I have already got a little bit of handwriting from somewhere else in there, but I wanted to add these words in from my daughter's book. I ended up taking out the first line and just having this bit, but I could not decide where I wanted it, and I move it around all over the place. So the words now say, she could see the future. See, I didn't want it. It sort of seems to pop best on her coat, so that's where I end up putting it. There we are, and I will hold that up so you can see everything in a bit more detail. So you can see the stamps there, little owl and an eagle. Eagle's actually upside down. It was on the original envelope. And I really like the numbers in the background. I think that works really well. And the girl. So, hope you enjoyed that one. Head over and check out what everyone else is doing. Have a go, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.